how misaligned pelvis can cause the formation of growing pain, ongoing growing pain that sometimes irradiates to your lower abdominal region, and how misaligned asymmetrical pelvis that being caused by neurological pattern of human asymmetry can trap your muscles, your inner thigh muscles, your iliacus, hip flexors into the position of contraction, which would generate a lot of chronic pain. And if not to address that, you will never going to fully release that tissue and hence never going to release that pain. So today I will use my patient from Germany just to illustrate how to fix that condition and what needed to be done in order to clear that permanently.
I'm really happy and glad that you achieved that result.
Same here, man. It's really nice. I mean, thanks a lot for everything. Really, it really means a lot. I mean, yeah, I've been, like I said, I mean, I've been having this for 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. No one could help me. And I mean, it's still great. I mean, like, it's much, much better than before. So, I mean, I'm already really thankful for that.
So Chris came to me with the request of fixing the ongoing growing pain and an abdominal pain that was usually being provoked by prolonged sitting. We've been working for quite some time and we have achieved great results.
Now take a closer look on his walk before. Few distinguished things to notice: his belly button, his level of his hips and pelvis, his upper body. So firstly, just take a look. Every time he walks, the belly button turns only towards the left side, which could actually gives you the false signal as his pelvis is turned to the left side. The second thing to mention is that every time he lands on the left leg, the left hip goes higher and overtops the right one, which is another indication that he got stuck in the left leg. False indication. But if you will take a closer look on his rib cage and his waistline, you will see the compression being more on the right side, because his body is being persistent into the left AIC pattern, just with a little bit different kind of combination than usual. Now here you can see Chris after 4 months of our online coaching work.
Clearly we achieved a lot of improvements regarding his lower body rotation. Now the belly button rotates to both sides more equally, which represents the ability of his sacrum bone, of his lumbar spine, to rotate to both sides more. Additionally, the pelvis depression happens also on both sides, specifically on the left one. That represents the ability of his left iliacus to finally let go. We achieved that result with Chris because of the online coaching services that we've done together throughout the months. So I'm inviting you to click the link below that video and to send me the brief description of your pain and symptoms, attach the pictures of your posture if you are comfortable of doing so. If not, just book up the consultation and I will talk with you within 12 to 24 hours. And we will evaluate your situation, what's going on and how to approach that.
But overall, I'm curious just to know how long you've been struggling from that kind of symptom, from that kind of pain.
The pain I had, I mean, like more than 2 years, maybe even 3. So I was at like 3 or 4 doctors. Some of them told me that I have different stuff. You know, one of them told me that I had a hernia, they checked it. Wasn't the case. Then one of them did an X-ray. They found like that I have this femoral acetabular impingement, and they said, yeah, the pain could come from that, but the pain location was not right for it, because for me, you know, it was like up in the groin, so basically too high to be the pain from that. And they said, okay, I mean, maybe it's like something that is there, but it comes from further down, but I mean, it didn't really make sense for me, and now it's gone, so I mean, I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Perfect. Yeah. But have you tried previously some kind of physical therapy, or maybe you've done some exercises on your own before we were doing the coaching? I'm curious to know that.
Yes, I mean, I tried some massage therapy. Some of the therapists, they said, okay, you have like these trigger points in the muscles, and they kind of treated me with that. Some of them treated the adductor, some of them treated also like trigger points in Wait a second. In the hamstrings as well, I think, and this helped for a short time sometimes. You know, sometimes I had like a relief of maybe a day or half a day, but it always came back. It was like, okay, I could feel like they were doing kind of the right thing because it kind of elevated the pain. And in the end, it came back. And so it was like, okay, they're doing something with the muscles that, yeah, helps a bit, but it was nothing lasting. Additionally, I also tried, some PI on my own. So I watched some YouTube videos. That's also how I found you, basically, which was really awesome because I searched a lot and I
You what?
tried to programs. I searched a lot for help and stuff online. I also went to physical therapy, so like the standard, so I went to the orthoped. I don't really know the English word for it, but the physical therapy kind of guy. But this was a standard physical therapy, so it was just like the standard stuff. So they gave me some muscle work, so like planks, for example, and I had to do like internal rotation of the hip, which I think the internal rotation did a little bit of something, but I think I used the wrong muscles. Because back then I could still feel like I was using, I don't know, the TFL maybe or something else, but not the glute med.
Hip flexors, definitely. Yes.
That's possible, yeah. yeah. And so it didn't really do anything. So, at some point they asked me, okay, should we continue this? And I was like, no, it doesn't really help me, so let's just stop. Then I continued to look because, I went to a couple of doctors and they all said different stuff to me. They all said, okay, one said it's this, the other one said it's this, and it really was nothing consistent. And so in the end I found you and you helped me, which was really great. Really grateful for that.
So you are reassuring that the PRI, you could not help yourself with PRI exercises on your own by watching just YouTube videos. It's just not possible to do.
Yes, it's true, because the thing is, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was doing some there's this basic programs, that you can follow like step by step. But I had a feeling some of them were like doing a little bit, but nothing consistent, and I really didn't know to what program to stick to, and I think it's something that's kind of streamlined to a lot of people. And so if you need specific help, like for example me, then it really doesn't do much.
The pain that you had was in the left groin. Can you describe that kind of pain, how it was like affecting your life?
Yes, when I was sitting, I had like really strong groin pain. So it was in the groin, it was also going up like
Abdominal.
Yeah, left to the navel basically, and I couldn't sit for long. So I sat for like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then I couldn't stand it, and I had to get up, and it was like, it felt a bit like my whole left side was kind of tensing up over time, and then it was like I had like this cramp in the left side. And I always had a feeling like something was too weak in my left side, but I couldn't really pinpoint it because at first it didn't hurt, but the first 10, 15 seconds, it was okay. And then it started and got stronger and stronger. And in the end, it was very painful to sit. I can sit for hours. Yesterday I sat for 2 hours with a customer, and
Without no problem yesterday, yes?
No, it was not. And so feel like my left oblique is working. This is the tension nerve, like it's like working maybe stronger than it should be or something, but it's not bad. So this is really nice.
Based on that, what you just told me, your quality of life improved a lot because now you can work like a normal human being.
Yes, because it was a little bit strange when I was I'm working in IT basically, and there you sit a lot, and I was always having to tell the people, okay, I can't sit, I'm gonna stand. It was always a little bit awkward because the people sit and you stand, and it's like this awkward situation where you talk down to them and stuff.
Now look here what happened to Chris's body. His pelvis was hiked up and the left ilium was abducted to the side like this and also flexed forward a bit. Now, that caused his left groin muscles, left adductors to be constantly overworking and doing double work as it should be. Why? Because firstly, when the left pelvis is being flared up, it creates the limitation of the left femur to go inwardly. So naturally, every time when a human being is landing on the left leg, during the left mid-stance, the left pelvis is supposed to move inwardly, which will create the perfect prerequisite for the left femur to go inwardly as well with the activity of the left groin. This is supposed to be a normal biomechanics. However, when Chris was attempting to stand on his left leg, the left ilium never truly moved inside like this. Yet his body was desperately trying to move the left femur inward by all cost and by overly activating his left groin muscles. This was his first problem. And his second problem was overactive muscles in the abdominal region, which is being projected by iliacus and iliopsoas. Iliacus and iliopsoas inside of the left AIC pattern are being overactive because they are pulling the left pelvis forward. Since that chain of muscle never truly turns off, in Chris' case, it was always on, but when the Chris was sitting down, he was flexing his femur, which was doubling down onto the activation of the hip flexors, because hip flexors are flexing the hip, and he already got overactive hip flexors because of the ongoing neurological pattern. So that's why when he was sitting down, the pain was increasing all the time. So if not to address that issue neurologically, on neurological level, the pain will never truly disappear. It always be there. And the only methodology is not to stretch out some tissues, it's not to go to the chiropractic care, is to reprogram the mind to move differently, respectively with the left and right side of the body. So the treatment focuses on reverting the stuck pattern. So in Chris' case, we programmed exercises that emphasized left leg internal rotation and left pelvis adduction. Because when we are adducting the pelvis to the middle line, that's create the strong position for the left adductors to be properly activated without overworking. This was the first part of the therapy. Another part of the therapy was to turn off overactive hip flexors during the sitting. So we supposed to do a lot of work with the left femur extension, abduction, and internal rotation. And it's supposed to activate the left gluteus medius, and every time when the left gluteus medius is being contracted, it pulls the left pelvis down. As I told you initially, in Chris' case, his left pelvis was hiked up, so by ongoing activity of the left gluteus medius, coupled with the left femur abduction and internal rotation, we could realign the pelvis, turn off overworking hip flexors, and turn off improperly working left adductor muscles. So let's do some techniques to facilitate that specific dysfunction and fix that.
Before I will introduce you to these two techniques, I just wanted to let you know that the first technique serves you the purpose to turn the lower body towards the left orientation, and the second one serves the purpose of facilitating the fibers of the left gluteus medius, hence is going to help you to drop down that hiked up left pelvis. Yet you should not treat these exercises as a treatment, as a rehabilitation process, because you have to go through many movements like Chris did. You have to have a personal evaluation, bunch of details, bunch of nuances. So treat these movements for the informational purposes only. Some of them I never even prescribed for a specific case of Chris.
You would have to use this rubber band around your wrapped around your knees, and you will have to have a platform. It's not going to be a good solution to use a yoga block. It has to be something very firm. Now, you have to have a counter in front of you, round your lower back and move your body mass on your left heel and feel that most of the weight being there on the left leg, like 80% of that. Now support yourself with your arms in this way, but don't go crazy. It's just for catching the balance. So right now, bend both knees, 80% on the left heel. Move your left knee slightly to the middle line. Feel your left adductors are being engaged. Right foot has to be slightly ahead of the left one. Now, what you have to do is, when you have positioned yourself like so, gently to move away that right knee to the right side, but it's forbidden to detach your right inner arch from the floor. You have to do this, and now it's allowed to press with your right foot into the floor. And now feel that your right gluteus maximus being engaged. Now I have shifted the center of mass slightly to the right arch, and I'm feeling the right buttock being engaged and it's just on fire. You see, I'm shaking right now, and this is a good sign because it means that my body is utilizing this new position, and later on I will be walking in a slightly different manner. It's something new. I am pressing my right inner arch into the floor. That's it. 5 breaths equal 1 set. Repeat 3 times. Now for that technique you would have to find something like this. This is a tubing band with a very minimal resistance, because otherwise, if you will use hardcore resistance, you will utilize wrong muscles in this specific technique. It's going to be very challenging to feel the necessary changes of muscles. Now, just sit like I do right now, and underneath the right foot you should place a decent block or a few books like I'm doing right now. Should not be the problem at all. Now, wrap around the ankles this tubing band. The main thing is you have to apply the resistance from right side towards your left ankle like I'm doing currently. Now, the next step, you should lean backwards, okay? You have to lean backwards because that will prevent your TFL from being overly active. And do the gentle posterior pelvic tilt and maintain that tilt all the time. Now press with your right foot into the platform and pull the right knee gently ahead of the left one while the left leg is being absolutely passive. Don't do anything so far with the left leg. Now, once you have applied the pressure, try to raise up the left foot just half an inch off the floor and move that left foot out like I'm doing right now. Now, you don't try to support yourself with the left foot anymore. You are holding yourself in this position. The left foot is elevating, is floating above the floor, and you are sensing the strong sensation in the left gluteus medius. And you are holding that for 5 decent breaths. Make sure that the left foot being outside of the left knee. Now, you may not feel initially the left glute med. You may start to sense it upon the 5-6 breaths or upon the second or third set. It's totally okay. Initially, the left TFL might kick into the game. It's totally okay. Additionally, what you can do is to gently press that left hip, that left femur into the chair. But don't press the left foot though into the floor. It should be elevating. It should be floating above the floor just half an inch. That's it. You can stimulate your brain with such a technique every few hours, overall having 5-6 sets during the daytime. Thank you.